EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martin here with your outlook for August 30th, 2024. It is Friday, end of the work week, and the Friday video forecast is proudly sponsored by McCall Collective Brewing. McCall is a family-owned and operated brewery with 2 locations in the Lehigh Valley. Their original Southside Allentown location is at 102 East Susquehanna Street, and their second location, McCall Collective House in Trexlertown, is located at 7743 Hamilton Boulevard. Both locations are open 7 days a week and have a full food menu, plenty of beer to choose from for both dine-in or takeout, along with local wine and cocktails. The NFL starts their regular season schedule in just 6 days from today, and to get you ready for the season, McCall's has football-themed beer with two past favorites, For the Birds, an IPA, and Run the Ball, a pale ale, and they make their return over Labor Day weekend. For more details about that and all of their upcoming events, please visit their Facebook page, or to place online orders, visit their website, mccallcollectivebrewing.com. Proud sponsors of the Friday video forecast. So today we had, we'll go back to yesterday, we had a backdoor cold front that moved through the region and pressed off to the south. It was actually stalled last evening and overnight to the south of the region. This is now going to be making its way back northward as a warm front, but is not going to have a lot of precipitation with it, it doesn't look like. The European model here looks a little bit more enthused with this activity, and it's going to be mainly this afternoon when this occurs, maybe going into early evening in some areas, but it's going to be very hit or miss with this activity. It's just a warm front moving back northward through the region. Here's what the NAM has as starting us off at noon, and it's got a little bit of shower activity out here in central PA that's going to make its way eastward over eastern Pennsylvania and parts of New Jersey. But not everywhere is going to get into this, and it's going to be generally light and not really moving too fast, and it kind of falls apart by the time we get to the evening hours. So there's not really much coverage of anything here, but a few showers that can be happening across the area, across at least parts of the area, and it's going to be mainly cloudy otherwise. Here's the high resolution rapid refresh for that same period, and again, not very much activity, a little bit, but it's going to be hit or miss, and some areas will see nothing at all. Okay, so that's today with that warm front moving through. And then in the wake of this, we are going to have a partly to mostly cloudy skies day here on Saturday. But there's the cold front coming through, and this is rather late. So we were talking about timing of this for the last couple of days and how everything was, we had a disagreement of whether it was going to be an afternoon and evening deal or was going to wait until later in the evening and overnight to come through. It's now looking like the latter is going to be correct. So that means your during the day activities on Saturday should be largely unaffected for the vast majority of the region, especially if you're outside of central PA and your further areas further east. You should be dry for the entirety of Saturday during the daylight hours. Now, once you get past sunset, you might have some showers working in from west to east, but it still doesn't look like a whole lot. As we go back to the NAM here and show you what we're looking at, here's Saturday during the day, and again, you're going to have partly to mostly cloudy skies here, so you're going to have some sun, and because of that, the temperature is going to be much higher on Saturday than they will be today. So today's temperatures above me, as you see, are a little bit on the chilly side, 68 in our northwestern areas to 74 in our southeastern areas, so that's pretty, it's below average across the region, and no matter where you're at, okay? But that's pretty significantly below average today with those clouds in place. Plenty of clouds, and again, a few areas with some showers. But then look at tomorrow when you have the breaks of sun. You're still going to have more clouds than sun, we think, but 78 to 85, that's one heck of a rebound from one day to the next, and that's because we have this cold front coming in, and ahead of it you have a southerly wind flow, and that's going to give you the higher temperatures on Saturday. But this is delayed, very delayed. This is 4, 5, 6 p.m. 6 p.m., and it's still out in western Pennsylvania. It has not even begun to come into any part of our coverage region. Our coverage region starts up here in Clinton County, which includes the Lock Haven area, and it's just about ready to come in there at that point at 6 p.m. So here's 7, here's 8. It gets to about Williamsport, maybe approaching on Selinsgrove at this point, or pretty close to it. But all of these areas farther east are not seeing anything here. Nothing during the day. This sunset is right around 8 o'clock, or actually just before 8 o'clock now. So this is just should be, if you have any activities to do and anything to do outside on Saturday, you should be good to go. And this is not just the NAM doing this, the RGM. A lot of the short-range models are all in agreement with this general idea. And the European model, which was the most aggressive, pushing that front a lot faster, has backed off. This is 8 p.m. on Sunday, and you see where it is. It's still in those same areas, and it agrees with everything else, okay? So Saturday looks pretty good. We'll have another look at this on the weekend video forecast that I do on Saturday morning, but right now I'm not expecting any major changes. The one thing we're seeing with this, however, is that this just kind of falls apart. You're really not seeing a whole lot. Some activity comes through during the overnight in areas farther east, and that goes into very early Sunday morning. So some people have been asking me about Sunday. Is Sunday going to be a wet day? Well, if you're down here in these areas, southeast, along and southeast of 995, there is the opportunity for an early shower to start the day, and then clouds give way to sun in the afternoon. In the interior, you're going to see that clouds give way to sun a little bit quicker. You'll have clouds in the morning, and then it'll give way to sun as that front continues off to the south and east. So we're not expecting any precipitation after that. Here's that frontal boundary on the European model. You can see it's off the coast. There will be, however, a secondary front that's going to come through Saturday night. It's all the way up here. This is looking at Sunday morning yet. Here's the first front that's pushing through on Sunday morning. It's this second one that has the cooler air that's going to come in behind it for Labor Day. Okay, so in association with that trough. So that is not going to quite get here until Sunday night, and you can see this push through. It should be a dry frontal passage Sunday night, but once this moves off the coast, we're going to be mostly sunny on Labor Day itself, and looking at temperatures that are going to be back into lower to middle 70s for several days through about the middle of the week before we start turning the temperatures up a little bit, not much, a little bit, marginally. By the time we get to Thursday, we get back into the upper 70s, but it's still technically slightly below average at that point. Sunday, by the way, will be another warm day because that secondary front didn't move through. So if we go to Sunday at 5 p.m., for example, here's that area low pressure. Secondary front is still up here. So you're still going to have some warmth in between here on Sunday, probably a couple degrees warmer than Saturday even. But then we're going to have the secondary front move through overnight and usher in the cooler air behind it. That's going to set up a nice work week next week with plenty of sun and also very comfortable temperatures. It will be moderating a little bit toward the end of the week, but nothing crazy. It's not like we're going back up in the 90s again. We'll get close to the 80-degree mark by the time we get to Friday, it looks like, across most areas, but that's still very seasonable for this time of year. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martins. That is your outlook for August 30th, 2024. Have a great Friday.